Oh. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church in Eugene. I'm Chris Topaz. I use the pronouns she and her. I'm a European American woman with a smile and a jacket on. I'm this morning's worship associate. The whole community is worshiping together this morning in celebration of teachers and our youth. If your child is a preschooler or younger, we do have childcare for them. Otherwise, everyone is staying together, and at this time, would all the children come up to the front? You get to sit up here today. You don't have to, but you can. We have extra crafts up here. Yeah, and we're going to have. We gather in worship to find meaning and live more deeply. Worship creates connections within, among, and beyond us, calling us to our better selves, calling us to live with wisdom and compassion. Whoever you are, whomever you love, whatever your image of the holy, we're glad you're here. If today's your first time with us, we'd love to get to know you. Right after service, you're invited to our welcome room, which is in our south entrance. If you're online, the link to our visitor form is being dropped into the chat now. You can use your phone to access a copy of our order of service by scanning the QR codes that are scattered throughout the building. We also have a few large print paper copies that you can get from your ushers. There you'll find names of authors and composers. You'll find the text for choir anthems and resources used in our service. We also have, every Sunday, we also have these hearing assistance devices. It's just a headphone with a microphone or a receiver if you want help with hearing more clearly. You can get them any Sunday at the sound booth. Now, let's take a few minutes to greet our neighbors, especially those you don't know. The flaming chalice is a symbol of the Unitarian Universalist faith. These words are from the Upanishads, which is one of the holy texts from the Hindu Vedas. Good job. Yeah, pull it back. Good. We light this chalice to help us move from untruth to truth, to help us move from ignorance to wisdom, to help us move from animosity to love, to help us move from bondage to freedom. We rededicate ourselves before this light to affirm and practice truth, wisdom, love, and freedom today and in the days to come. Now let us say together the words of our mission, which affirm our shared purpose. Empowered by love, we transform ourselves and serve our world. Good Sunday morning, everyone. I'm the Reverend Jen Youngsun Rue, and I use the pronouns she and her. It is wonderful to see all of you today. Thanks for coming to church this morning.
So we've come to the end of another church year. We've come to the end of another school year, right? How many more days do you have until summer vacation? 3.5. 3. Some of you go to different schools, so some of you have different numbers that you're holding up. But soon, very soon, you're going to be done. What a great season, right? For the end of things and the beginning of things, for graduations and weddings, for wonderful celebrations. Today's worship service is also a celebration. Today's service will flow right into the annual meeting. And so we're going to leave the chalice burning. We're going to take a short break so our Zoom friends can switch over to the meeting link. And then we'll start right into the annual meeting. I'm really happy that all of you are here today. And I know that some of you came through those doors carrying grief in your hearts. I know some of you had a very stressful week, and you're seeking some quiet solace in this sanctuary space. No matter what you are carrying with you today, I hope that you know that this is a community that cares about you and that is ready to listen to you when you're ready to share. Today, we honor our volunteer teachers, and we say thank you for all that they share and all that they teach and all the time that they devote to our youngest UUs. You know, much of our approach to religious education, what we now call faith formation, is based on some groundbreaking work from Sophia Lyon-Fahs. She believed that people of all ages develop religious understanding from direct experience, not by learning the right answers to a bunch of catechism questions, but by exploring what it means to live on this earth as a human, what it means to care for others, what it means to be able to ask questions, any questions, what it means to celebrate and to mourn, and to help bring kindness into a hurting world. So come, let us celebrate our teachers and our wonderful youth. Come, let us worship together.
Whew. So, good morning. Good morning, folks on Zoom. Good morning, people in person. My name is Ryan Doppelmayr. My pronouns are she and her. I'm a 41-year-old white woman with brown hair and a green skirt on today, and I am so happy to be here. And I'm not going to tell a normal story today. We're going to do something a little bit different. But first, I'm going to invite two folks up to talk about what they have been doing with our kids and youth here with us. I'm going to ask Chris to come up and speak for a minute. Chris Topaz, if you do not see her in the sanctuary on a Sunday, she is probably in the preschool and kindergarten room. She's like most Sundays, she's back there hanging out with our littlest ones. She is dedicated. And then I'm going to ask to hear for just a minute from Serena, who is right over there, is dedicated in that this weekend was both her 30th birthday and her bachelorette party, and she is still here. And she has been helping us since January with the OWL program for 7th and 8th graders. And so she, once upon a time, was a child in this church herself. But now she's a lovely young 30-year-old, and she's going to share about why she would come back and do that. All right, Chris, take it away.
Thanks, Ryan. So, I could go on and on about the delights of working with the children, but the main reason that I go and volunteer with them is because I laugh. They are a hoot. It enriches my week, gives me good feelings and memories. I remember once when we had the labyrinth out in the parking lot, and one of our youth, maybe a 7-year-old, was standing in the middle of the labyrinth with 2 of our electronic candles that we had out there for the ceremony, directing people into the middle of the labyrinth, like landing an airplane, and loudly. It's like over here. But we didn't go over and say, hey, this is a quiet, contemplative occasion for inner reflection. We loved and accepted him. To me, providing an emotionally safe place for youth is the main reason that I volunteer, a space where they can learn to think and speak and find themselves and connect with others and solid values. I could go on and on about why I enjoy volunteering, like how I enjoyed watching the sparkle around the wet ones coming up from the swimming hole on our camp out last weekend, or watching the friendships grow between the children. But mainly I volunteer because I feel hopeful for our future when I see healthy, thriving beings. And it's important to contribute to their life trajectory.
So as Ryan said, I was a youth in this church, and I took part in 4th, 5th, 6th grade OWL, middle school, and high school OWL, and I liked it so much and felt like I got so much out of it that I decided to become certified to teach our middle school and high school OWL. And also, I decided to have a career as a sexuality and sex researcher. So obviously OWL was a little bit transformative for me. But I will say, like many of our youth in the OWL that we just finished, I did not want to be there at all my first time. I literally would have rather have been anywhere else. And I think that's how a lot of our kiddos felt too, but I tell them regularly that even if they don't think they're getting anything out of it, they are learning so much amazing information that will stay with them for their entire life. And I felt very lucky to be the person who could teach them that super valuable information. We also were not without controversy during our OWL this year, and we were in both the local and national news, unfortunately, for not the best reasons, but I can't say enough good things about our whole lives, and hopefully it'll be a tradition that continues in the UU Church and beyond for forever. Thank you.
Much, Chris and Serena. And so now, just a little bit extra. If you've received an email from me before, you might have noticed a quote after my signature line. The quotation is from a UU religious educator named Connie Goodbread. She wrote, "Everything we do is faith formation. Everything we teach is Unitarian Universalism. The congregation is the curriculum." Now, this is not me just getting too big for my britches as director of faith formation here. I promise. It sounds a little simplistic, but to me it means a lot. As UUs who aren't tied to a specific dogma, our faith is shaped by the experience that we have with our world. And we don't stop learning or growing. We are all works in progress. We express our faith with our words and, just as importantly, with our actions. Today, we're going to be recognizing church members who have expressed their faith by building connections with our children and youth and shaping a multi-generational community. So now I want to invite all the folks who have helped in our classrooms this church year to come to the front of the sanctuary, if you would, so that our kids can recognize you. So I know there are a few of you out there. I see you. I see Scott. I see Jane. I'm going to call people out. Chris. Serena, come on back up. Laurel. Yeah. All right. Okay. So I have another quote for you. So thank you, lovely banner holders. Would you shift a little bit this way? Yeah. Christian, yeah. Oh, nice. Can you turn it to these folks over here too so they can see a little more? So this is a quote from Parker Palmer. The human soul doesn't want to be advised or fixed or saved. It simply wants to be witnessed, to be seen, heard, and companioned exactly as it is. So we want to thank you volunteers for doing that. Okay. So we're going to have just a few little presents. And as we're passing out a few little presents, I'm going to ask anyone who'd like to join me with a round of thank yous, because we've got a little thank you song. Oh, we're not just going to say thank you. We're going to sing thank you. All right? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. One more time. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Woohoo! Okay. Now, before we sit down, I want to recognize that there is more to building a multi-generational community than helping in the classroom. If you participated in our Halloween trunk or treat, would you raise your hand if you're able? If you brought candy to stuff in eggs for Easter? If you danced with kids around the maypole? If you shared a seat at a worship arts table, like in the back there? If you shared a table at a potluck and had a conversation with a kid? Or at one of our Justice Church actions? Thank you. Thank you. Okay, now I'll let you guys sit down.
Good morning. My name is Daniel Blades. I am the president of your Board of Trustees. He, him are my pronouns. At this time, I invite all of those who have signed the UUCE membership book in the past few months to come forward as I call your name. Tara Almari, Jerry Carson, Marie Cavarock, Richard Huff, Sharon Lacey Huff, Medley Wade, Nancy Buffum, Joseph Dellert, Lynn Lockhart. And please forgive me if I mispronounce anyone's name. Their stories and photos will be in upcoming weekly newsletters, so please read those and make a special effort to get to know our newest members. Now, to our new members. Friends, some of you have taken part in our Inquirers classes to learn more about our church and the UU faith. Others transferred your membership from other UU churches. You came seeking deeper relationships. You came seeking a way to live out your values. Whatever brought you to this threshold, you have said yes to being an active member of this spiritual community. When you signed the membership book of this free church, you didn't sign on to a set of beliefs, creeds, or doctrine. Rather, you entered into a covenant with one another. A few weeks ago, we introduced the new covenant, and today we have copies for everyone. Let's all say these words together. All right. As a beloved community empowered by love, we covenant to embrace the next person who is always arriving, open to the change they will bring. We covenant to trust others in their identity and truth and work to be trustworthy. We covenant to speak our truth bravely and gently as we commune in love and peace. We covenant to make efforts to understand the views of others and make amends when intentions and impact collide. We covenant to expand our connections with the larger community with humility and empathy. We covenant to remember that how we are with each other is the foundation upon which we build the beloved community. Welcome, friends and members.
In sorrows, I want to see if maybe our younger UUs might come up and do this with me. I brought the stones from your classrooms, and I brought the vase that you use over here. And just as a reminder to all of you on Zoom, if you have joys and or sorrows that you want to share, just please put them in the chat. Remember that the ministers always get copies of the chat, and so we'll follow up if you share something in there with us. So, hi everybody. Hey. Do you want to come up and select a stone that just speaks to you? And while they're doing that, I invite everybody here and also on Zoom, if you have a stone or some object at home that you can visualize holding right now, do that. Or just visualize holding a small stone or an object in your hand. Okay? And so does everybody have something either in their hand or in their mind? Mm-hmm. Now, place in this object or this stone something that you're worried about, maybe. Maybe it's a person that you're holding in your care. Maybe it's a sadness that you want to put into this stone. Or maybe it's a happy thing that you want to put in here, like something that you want to be grateful for, something that you're joyful about. So whatever deep, deep feelings that you're holding now, put them into the stone, and now put them in the water. And if you want to say a few words about what you're putting in the water, I welcome you to do that.
Ready, Jackson? Okay.
My joy is that I just got my 1 pass.
Nice. Next up.
And you don't have
Adults
to say
can also
anything.
come up too if they wish.
My joy is that I'm getting my braces off in 2 weeks.
Nice.
My sorrow is that I might run out of good books soon.
We're looking for book recommendations if anyone has any.
Hi, I'm Reed.
Thank you.
So, when I was about 4, my dad passed away, and so I've been missing him for a really long time, and I still know that he's somewhere in my heart.
Anyone else?
All right. My joy is that I just last weekend got to see my sister that I haven't seen in a long time, and my sorrow is that I'm kind of hungry right now.
Thanks for your help. Will you say a prayer with me? Will you do that? All right. So there are 100,000 ways, different ways to pray, right? Some people like to pray with their eyes open and looking around. Some people like to close their eyes. Some people like to walk around while they pray. And some people sing their prayers, right? So whatever manner in which you like to pray, I invite you into that now. And for all of the joys and sorrows that have been spoken here, and for all of the ones that remain in the silent sanctuaries of our hearts, O Spirit of life, we give thanks, for all of that makes up our lives. O gracious God, whom we call by many, many names and sometimes not call by any name, we come to you with all of our heart, everything that is in there, and we lay it upon the table. We lay it upon the earth, and we ask that it be received with tenderness and kindness. Whatever we bring forth, may it be held in care and love. For all that is our lives, we give thanks. Amen. Thank you for your help, everybody.
Of a coming of age program. The ages of our kids and youth mean that we don't actually have bridgers or coming of agers this year, but we'll keep you posted because we will next year. But we are going to acknowledge the fact that we all have transitions that we're moving through, right? And we do want to acknowledge the growth and learning that our kids have done this year and the transition they go through as they move into a new class. So we have kids finishing 5th grade who are going to be welcome to our youth group in the fall. We've got kindergartners finishing up who will be welcome to our elementary group. And we have all of these new kids who are entering a brand new grade, a brand new school year. So these two guys, these nice big tall guys, are going to help me hold on to this as I invite our kids and youth to walk through this threshold as they're entering a new year, a new transition into new growth in the fall. All right. So kids and youth who are going to be coming up into a new grade, come on up and welcome through our threshold to a new year. We got a couple more coming. Woo! Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Did you want to go through? Yes. There we go.
And now, after a short break, we will move right into our annual meeting. Stay if you will, go if you must. Zoom friends, the link to the annual meeting is being dropped into the chat right now, or you can find it in your weekly connection. Young ones, I hear that you're actually holding your own version of annual meeting out in the playground with watermelon. So
So if you will follow your teachers and go out there now, we're going to sing you out.